my last video, I left off talking about this structure here. I don't get a lot of views because I'm probably not that great of an entertainer, but so I've kind of like to show people what I've learned. And last video was about this symmetrical type pattern here. I was saying it's going to break up or down, and there, in fact, it did do that. If you watch my last video, there it is. I was saying there's not trend lines bottom top very well, but I highlighted the one in yellow that I thought was best there, and I did say this is there, and this is a true pattern, even though there's no real set lines. There it is. I said 7,000 to 9,000. For those of you that are learning out there, go over to the left where this starts, the big rise. It's not. I said 7,000 to 9,000. So the yellow triangle is basically 7,000 in between that, and then 9,000. It did turn out to be the yellow one that I highlighted. Oops, that was pretty close. That's probably actually the one. That's probably actually the one that was the most valid that I highlighted before that. There it is. See how that came? See how that played out and did that? Came up here and bounced one more time off the top of that triangle, and boom. And that's when triangles break. That's pretty late there in that yellow one. But anyways, I think that's pretty cool. And I was saying 7,000 and 9,000. So where did that break out from here? 104,500. And where did it bottom out? 97.7. What is it? 45, 65. That's about 7,000. That's real close to 7,000. I mean, this isn't exactly 7,000 over here on the left. I'm just rounding off. That's basically it. That thing basically hit its exact target. That's pretty cool. What I really like about this, and to be honest with you, I'll humble brag here. I love my analysis when it starts working like this. I didn't learn this from anyone. It's just, I mean, I learned the trend lines, from watching YouTube channels and stuff. I learned all the basic stuff, but I never seen anyone really do this kind of stuff. Like this trend line back here on the left, the single one going from top, local tops, it broke out here. I left that on there, right? In my last video, I said, when this thing breaks out of this triangle type of pattern here, symmetrical type, when it breaks out, I said, watch this trend line down here, right? I wasn't saying that I wasn't just making that up, right? It's just an observation I've made over time. And if someone points it out to you, you can start using this stuff for yourself. I thought that was pretty cool, right? The target for that triangle was in that vicinity and down there on the bottom. And the target on top for the triangle was in the vicinity of this purple Fibonacci resistance line up here at 114. I said that was worth noting. It turned out to be the downside, and it was real close to that. So I like to leave my old patterns on there for extended amounts of time. Why is that of interest right now? I should have just started this video saying this because people want to know what's going on right now. What's going on right now is I was going to make this video yesterday, and I was going to say all these trend lines from the previous pattern, this whole area is going to be strong resistance, right? And they're not. I don't have any of them drawn them all in there. It's these ones here. See, I can just extend. Like all these need to be extended at this point. Let's try to keep my eye on where it's about like this. See that? About right there. All these need to be extended. I don't want to bore you, but it's about right there. Those all need to be extended. So those are all of interest. And see, I didn't even look at that until just now. See, I just discovered this making this video. Look at that. Those ones I just extended. Actually, I could probably extend a few more of these, and they're all in the same spot. For the giggles, let's do that. Let's extend this one here. Let's just go ahead and extend them. And this one is, oops, it was about in that ballpark. I'm pretty close. The last couple weren't right on. Well, the last one wasn't. Every other one though. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? See, that's what I was saying. Humble brag. my analysis can get really interesting. To me, I think it's just fascinating. And I just want to say that that hasn't translated for me personally making money yet, which is hard for me to believe. My last mistake was just so stupid. I'm basically there to the point where it's like living in a bubble, right? You're trying to get your head up, and you just can't. It's just hard to do it. It's hard to break into the next level of financial existence, right? It's a hard thing to do, and we live in a system that is geared to actually. It's really geared against you to be able to do that. It's just kind of rigged, and it's unfair, and it's very difficult to get out of it. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what this is to me, right? I used to kind of rush and press earlier. I've been doing this for almost 5 years and 4 years, so it'll be 5 years soon. So hopefully by then I'll be able to be in good profit. But it's getting to the point for me where I know that this is basically I should be there basically right now, where I wake up in the morning and look at the charts and maybe I take a 10 grand profit, right? Or maybe not, maybe a couple of days later I take one for 10, 15 grand, maybe 20 grand profit just sitting in my living room. That's where I'm basically at. I just have just made a dumb mistake. I've made 3 mistakes. The last one is just kind of stupid, just so stupid. I want to thank you for watching my videos. This is interesting to me, and now that I see this, I like sharing. I just like sharing it with you. I'm so happy with my analysis. I haven't made any money yet. I just noticed this. Watch out for this. Let's extend this. Now I'm not saying this is happening, but this looks pretty close at this point. This could be if we take this guy here like this, put it way down here. Let me take that yellow one that was pretty valid. Let me take that there. Look at that. Watch out for that. See, that's another thing I like to do. You might not see that anywhere else. I've never seen that anywhere else. It just makes sense. After you stare at this for a long time. I wanted to go back here real quick first though. If this pumps up, this is about 103, 104,000 or so. I wouldn't expect it to go much above 104,000 in any time soon. Now it could, but if it did, that would be a breakout of all these trend lines, and that could happen. That's when you want to watch for all-time new high, that area. But that's pretty good resistance, although it's picking its way through it. This yellow one here is probably the strongest one. It's at the top, and watch out for this happening. I'm not saying it's going to, but watch out for this. Maybe it does come up to the top of this again and test and come down. Boom. Boom. Let's see what that looks like. Watch out for that. That doesn't look too bad, watch out for that pattern. That's interesting. That would be a descending wedge, which is eventually a super bullish pattern. It's a big one too, about 8,000-9,000. There's probably a parallel channel in here. I haven't drawn a lot of parallel channels lately, amazingly. Parallel channels. See, there's probably a parallel channel here, down here. I'll turn my magnet on. Here. Here. I don't like the. I see this. This is probably better. Usually don't go wick to body. Maybe that wick. Maybe it's that one. No, this is a wick. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad looking either. Okay, this is what my chart's going to look like for the near future. And any of those lines, like I said earlier, still could come into play. And that is bullish, so we'll turn it green. that really isn't there yet. Neither one of those. That green channel's not really there yet, but from my experience, it's probably likely to do something. And then what you would want to do here is watch out for the top half. Watch out for the top half of this thing, the green channel, the heart line in the center. Watch out for something like this. Right. Watch out for that. Stay in the top half of that. Maybe a dive down to the bottom, boom, right back up, and then back in the top half of the channel. Maybe dive and then eventually, boom. Let's get that. Eventually, boom. This will eventually break sometime like that. All right, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good night.